Thank you for your interest in Brightpath Progress. My name's Dr. Sandy Heltzinger, and I'm one of the co-founders of Brightpath. Brightpath Progress is an entirely new way for teachers to assess writing online that is fast and accurate and that provides next steps teaching points. Brightpath is used in diverse schools across Australia. There has been a rapid uptake of Brightpath and more schools are using it more often. Schools greatly value Brightpath Progress. They see it as a tool that they can use to continuously monitor their students' writing. Schools have found that Brightpath leads to improvement because the information provided is detailed and clear. They have also said that Brightpath provides a great focus. It's a good way of assessing learning because teachers can use it to inform their planning. In 2019, the WA Education Department commissioned research to examine the impact that Brightpath had on students' writing performances, and they found that Brightpath led to improvement in NAPLAN scores. There are 3 broad stages in using Brightpath to assess writing. You collect your students' writing, you assess the performances on the Brightpath scale, and then you use the reports. We provide detailed administration instructions, and throughout our instructions, we ask teachers to do what they need to do to elicit a typical performance of their students' writing. Here are some examples of our narrative prompts and an example of how we suggest you administer the task. We provide planning templates. For persuasive writing, we also provide fact sheets for older students. We provide a planning template for persuasive writing too. For information report writing, we provide a note sheet so that students can make notes as they complete their research and then use their notes to write their report. Once you've collected your students' writing, you need to assess it. Brightpath provides an entirely new way of assessing. You compare your students' performances to the calibrated exemplars. Here is an image of the Brightpath application. In the middle is the Brightpath scale. To the left are the calibrated exemplars, which are shown as thumbnails. To the far left is an exemplar open to be read. On the right is the performance that will be assessed. The teacher compares their students' performance to the exemplars, deciding if it is of a similar standard to that exemplar, or slightly better or slightly weaker. Here is a subset of our narrative exemplars. Each exemplar provides just a little more information about development and narrative writing. I want to emphasize as you watch this, your teachers will only need to know 4 or 5 exemplars really well, because that will cover the ability range of their students. Importantly, because all teachers compare their students to the same set of exemplars across your school, you have moderated and comparable data. This is what it looks like in a school where teachers collaborate and discuss the exemplars and talk about their students' work. I want to show you what it looks like in the software. So here we have the exemplars, and then when you toggle between the exemplars, you see the performance descriptors. The performance descriptors provide detailed information about the development of student writing. It is important that teachers do not turn these into a checklist, and they always compare their students' writing to the exemplars. Our research shows the comparison of student work to the exemplars provides accurate assessment and placement on the scale. We provide detailed annotations so teachers can quickly become very familiar with the exemplars. We have the added advantage that where students complete their writing online, we're able to provide a predicted score. The marking assistant will save your teachers time. Importantly though, they can check how their students have been scored and use their professional judgment to refine their score. Having shown you how you collect your students' writing samples and how you assess their work, I want to briefly talk to you about the reports. We categorise the Brightpath reports into formative assessment reports, summative reports, and growth reports. As soon as teachers score their students, their scores are captured in the reports. Here is one of our formative reports. All the teachers in the school have assessed their students, and the report shows the Brightpath scale, the calibrated exemplars to the left, and the performance descriptors to the far left. On the right is where every child has been placed on the scale. The different colours denote the different year levels. You can click on a student to open their work sample. It's therefore easy for you to check that your teachers have been consistent in how they've scored their students. We then bring to the fore the next steps teaching. We provide detailed information about what students need to learn next, and we provide it in ways that makes it easy for teachers to use the information for their next lesson. We have reports for parents and reports for students, and we also have a range of reports to help you look at whole school data and to compare your school's performance with that of other schools. Importantly, we help you evaluate growth and learning. On the left, you can see where a student has been placed over time, and you can see the growth that they've made. To the right, we have our pre- and post-test report, which allows you to evaluate growth over a learning sprint. That is, you've assessed the students, you've taught them, and you've assessed them again, and you can see how effective your teaching has been. So, to summarise, there are 3 key points about Brightpath progress. Brightpath answers the questions: what can my students do now, and what do they need to learn next? Brightpath enhances teacher professional judgment, it does not replace it. And Brightpath has been proven to improve the teaching and learning cycle. Getting going is straightforward, and there is a dedicated team that will help your school get started with Brightpath. To sign up or for more information, please email brightpath@brightpath.com.au.